Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, November 10th, and I am making a quick little video about Unit 2, which is called Writing the Cultural Analysis, Modules 4 and 5. So in this video, I'm going to focus on just what the essay is about a little bit, look at some of the requirements, and then we're going to just talk about the 4A discussion, which is where you propose your topic for your cultural analysis. So let's look a little at I'm going to start with our discussion. And for discussion 4A, I ask you to look at this cultural wheel. This kind of shows you some of the most important aspects of things that make up culture. Now, culture, of course, can be culture based on ethnicity or country, race, religion, gender. Culture can also be based on anything you do might have a culture attached to it, right? So if you do a certain hobby, a certain activity, within that hobby or activity, there's actually a culture. There's a certain language that you might use with other people or terminology. There might be traditions or rituals that you do within that certain hobby or activity. You might have techniques you practice. You might have tools or objects. There might be eating and drinking involved. There might be knowledge and stories that are passed down. So any type of activity has a culture. Where you work has a certain culture of how things happen and what people do, right? So I kind of want you to think about culture for this essay. I do want you to think about culture. And you're going to watch this video, Cultures, Subcultures, and Countercultures. It talks to you a little bit more about aspects of culture. Okay, then you're going to try to generate your own topic that's going to be coming up for your essay. So in this unit, instead of a lot of discussions leading up to the paper, we mostly just have the brainstorming type of discussion and a couple of discussions that work with organizing your thoughts for your paper. So we can think about culture in terms of communities, communities you belong to. As I said, ethnicity, religion, gender, sexual orientation can be a main part of a community. So you might think about those if they're important to you. They may or may not be important to you. Once again, thinking about hobbies and activities having their own culture and community. Even with your hobby and activity, even if you're not centrally involved in doing the hobby with other people, some people think community must involve a ton of people. It can, but remember, with any hobby or activity, there's a culture surrounding that hobby or activity. So I put in examples here of different things that people do. You run marathons, you're a video gamer, you're an Instagram fitness influencer, you're a baker, you're a tattoo lover, or you work in a tattoo shop. You're a ska band fan, you're a yoga fan, you're a meditator, you're a lacrosse player, you're a soccer player, you're a basketball player, you're a computer programmer, you play Dungeons and Dragons. So think about the vast array of these kinds of hobbies, activities that you may do. You can also think about culture related to places you volunteer. If you've had in the past have volunteered as an animal protector at the Humane Society, if you work as a patient specialist in a nursing home, there's cultures connected to that. If you do countercultural activities, such as protests for racial equality, working to protect the environment, that might be a particular culture that you can talk about. So in this first part here on 2, after you watch the video and answer question 1, then you are going to make a list of cultures and or communities that you are a part of. So this first part, brainstorm a list, as many as you can think of for yourself. If you're a mother, some people have written about the culture of being a mother and motherhood. What are, let's say you're a young mom in your 20s, what are the important values of that for you? Okay, so you've made and brainstormed your culture and community. Now, from your list, select 2 that you, for yourself, feel most strongly about, are most connected to, have the most personal knowledge of. Remember, this is based on personal experience. You must be a part of this culture or this community or this hobby or this activity that you're writing about. So think about 2, list 2 that you feel the strongest about. And then from the 2, select 1. Select 1, okay? And the important thing to note about this culture, and then you're going to tell the class a little more about what's your background and experience with the culture. What do you think is so interesting about it? What do you think is something that's really valuable or interesting about being part of it? And that will be discussion 4A. So by the end of 4A, you've kind of picked your culture community and you've written just a little bit about it. 4B, you're looking for your supporting examples. So one thing that I want people to focus on is in this 4B, you're going to be kind of doing a whole bunch of brainstorming and writing about the community or the culture to help you get more perspective on it. The thing that's most important for the essay is you are going to talk about the top 2 to 3 values or priorities for this culture community. And there's a checklist here of values. So values are things like honesty or creativity or adventure or kindness or precision, all sorts of things that are the priorities, right? So I had a guy who wrote about being a part of the muscle car community. And so there's definitely values that all the members hold as important, right? So you're going to be looking for those top values or priorities for your culture community. What holds the community together? And that comes back to the community's values. Okay. So that's what you're going to do in 4B, and you're going to do a tiny bit of research on your culture or community. Okay. Then here in 4C, you're actually going to really outline the essay. You're going to focus on what is the glue that holds the community together, what is the one value that most exemplifies your community. So in the past, for example, I've had students writing about Mexican American culture here in the US, and they've talked about this one super big value is family, keeping the family together. Okay, so, pinpointing that super important value, then breaking it down into sub-points, right? So you have to have a main value, but underneath the main value, we could break it down. So let's say you were doing Mexican-American values and you feel like that the family is the most important aspect of Mexican-American culture, let's say. This is what you're saying. So then what would you say under that? So maybe one part of that value of family is that there's a value to getting people together for celebrations. So that's one aspect of that value. Let's say there's a second way you could talk about that value, and one is by the sense of being there for other people when they're sick, when they're ill, when they lose their job, when they don't have money. That is very important in that family value to do that. So there's 2 strong examples and sub-values that go to the main value. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of put that out there. And I'm going to give you a little bit more specific template in terms of the organization with the essay. I might revise these discussions just a little bit to make it clearer. Okay, but that's going to be the progression of this essay. So you can see that these discussions in Module 4 are all based on your topic, really getting into your topic, fleshing out your idea, here in C, outlining it, so that when you come to write the paper, you have a really strong basis for it. All right, so I'm going to end this video and send it out. Look for future emails in terms of more on this paper, and I'll be grading the essay ones, and the comments on the essay ones you can find in the grade. So when you go to grades and look on your grades, then you can see my comments for the final draft of essay one. Okay, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're keeping safe, and I will talk to you soon, and let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.